right, welcome back to those of you that have been subscribed to me for a long time for no reason because I really don't put nothing out. I do when I feel like I should put stuff out. But I always tell you guys, I don't want to be the reason why you don't read your Bibles because, well, that's just not me. And I don't want that on my hands. Sometimes I can get wrapped up in watching channels that are specifically catered to like Bible topics and God and what have you. And I'll end up binge watching all of those and getting the information from there versus opening my Bible. And I don't want to be that person, but I do want to share with you guys what I've learned because it's important. What God gives us, we should be able to give it back to other people because I don't want him to take more from me, more away from me, like Matthew says, for whom much is given, much can be taken away. Paraphrasing. Anyway, but for those of you that have never been here before, my name is Audrey. And I'm working on my 5th year being with the Lord. I have come from a same-sex marriage, but I'm working towards that to fix it because hashtag I want to spend eternity with him and he's all that matters to me. And yeah, but I do get sidetracked and a lot. I lose my train of thought mid-sentence. And what else? I'm long-winded. That's all due to a concussion that I had back in 2014. But if you can suffer through that, hey, welcome aboard. So today's topic is going to be on, where are yearns, the book of Genesis. I want to share things that I've learned already. And we're just going to go from there. So it's going to be an overview. I'm not really going to do like chapter by chapter, verse by verse, but just things that have, what's that word? Stuck out. See, the problem is that I have the word in my head, but now I'm fighting like, is that really the word that I want to say? Anyway, so things that stuck out with me reading the Bible, then rereading it, and then listening to the audio Bible, and then re-listening, and then thinking about it, and having mental debates and mental conversations with people that don't really exist in my mind, which doesn't really do me any good because whatever. No. This is the layout to Genesis. So we have chapter 1 and 2 is the creation account. Chapter 3 is the fall. 4 is Cain's sin and his genealogy. Chapter 5 is Adam's genealogy and then them starting to run amok and crazy things happening. But you really have to get in deep and get into the Hebrew to get all that stuff. And then 6 and 7 is the flood. Oh, the events that led up to the flood and then the flood. And then chapters 8 and 9 is the flood and it's subsiding. And then chapter 10 is Noah and his sons genealogy, aka the table of nations. There's 70 nations versus 70 members of Israel's family that went to Egypt. We'll get there when we get there. Then chapter 11 is the Tower of Babel. And then 12 to 23 is the call of and the life of Abram. We know him as Abraham. And then chapters 24 and 27 is Isaac and his life. And chapters 28 and 38 is 28 through 38 is Jacob and his life. And then 38 to 50 is Joseph, Egypt, and the famine. And then somewhere, I don't know if it's in the cluster of 24 and 27 or 28 and 38, there's accounts of Esau and his lineage and all that stuff, which is boring to me. I just want to know, just give me the line that's important. They ain't really real glasses, really. This is from Walmart. They're like magnifying glasses. So, okay, so the book of Genesis, that's an English word, but we get it from the Greek and it means origins. But in the Hebrew, The name of the book is Barashit, which means in beginning, but it's not like in the beginning how we would think. Like when people read in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, we really do picture an origin of time. Like, oh, okay. And then God, I don't know, I can't get on this topic without talking about the Terminator paradox. Like John Connor sending back Kyle Reed or Reese, whatever his name is, to the past to protect his mom, but then that is what creates the union of John's birth for Skynet to even send the Terminator. It's like, have you guys even thought about it? Who was John Connor's original father for? I don't want to get into it, but that's, to me, my head blows up when I think about, that's the same equivalency, if not more, when I think about God and his whole dominion up there. Chicken or the egg? Moving right along. Okay. So anyway, Barashit is like Transformers. There's more that meets the eye. Anyway, so I'm just going to break down the word. It's Barashit with the TH in the back. But when you put it together, it's Barashit, like how you see it down there in the Babylonian words. You can't read it because you don't read Babylonian Hebrew. So, okay, so when looking at that word, you're reading it from right to left. Okay, so Barashit, but even like the opening word of the text God gives us, or rather his chosen people, his plan of salvation. When I say his chosen people, I don't mean at this very time of this overview, the Christians and those Jesus as their Messiah believing Jews, or Messianic Jews as they're called. I mean, like the chosen people, Abraham and them's, okay? And then all the way to Moses and before the captivity. I mean, like those chosen people, Israel, excuse me. So anyway, yeah, so his chosen people, his plan of salvation. For those of you that have never heard of this, like this is a Scooby snack of a treat. Like y'all in for blowing of a mind. Now I've known this since 2017. When I first came across it, my whole brain was blown wide open. I was like, what? For real? It's like, wow, how? Oh. And then I don't understand how them Hebrew reading people. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because it's probably 15 minutes already passed by. Anyway, so the Hebrew letters have the following characteristics. Not only are the letters both the Paleo Hebrew on the bottom and the black right there, and the Babylonian Hebrew letters, the red ones on top. Remember, it's read from right to left. Yeah, because I think right now my hands are being mirrored. So like this is read backwards. So, but anyway, whatever. So it's read from your right to your left. And so not only are they letters, they're also numbers, because they don't have numbers like 1, 2, 3 like we do. It's just Aleph, Bet, Gimel, whatever. It's not my system. Then they also have phonetic like Bet, Resh, Aleph, like Bara, Sh, Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. They're also semims, and semims, I guess would be closely related to like pictograms or hieroglyphics, but not really. They're like two different monkeys. So, but in the book of Proverbs, I just want to, oh no, it's right here actually. So I have it right here. So in Proverbs 25, those of you like, but what does this really like? What does it matter? I just want to read. Well, you can just read the first level if you want to and stay with your toes dipped in the water, Or you can gradually get into the baby pool and then put your floaties on, go to 4 feet, then 6 feet, then take the floaties off and start swimming on your own. It's your forever eternity. I don't want no mini skirt robe up there with y'all looking at my butt hanging out. So anyway, Proverbs 25:2 says, it's the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it's to search out a matter is the glory of kings. Why do they always have, I should have read the English translation. Anyway, it's the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the glory of kings to search things out. And then, so that's why I'm sharing with you guys these little things that he's concealed. And we don't get that if you are a King James only person. Get over yourself. Moses did not come down Mount Sinai with 2 tablets written in Elizabeth and like thou shalt not. It wasn't written in that. It's written in Hebrew. So if you want to know what the word says, go to the Hebrew. And if you don't know where to start, this website right here is a good place to start. But before I go into a left field tangent, we're going to continue with Jeremiah. Now we're done with Proverbs. Now we're going to go into Jeremiah chapter 48, and we're going to start at verse 10. I'm sorry, 8. So remember this and stand firm. Recall it to mind, you transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there's no other. I am God and there is none like me. Now, this is why we're here. This is the meat and potatoes, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, things that are not yet done. I cannot, just thinking about it, my mind's already blown. Sorry. This is exciting things, guys. This is exciting things. Now, where is my sketch pad? Right here. So, wait. Sharing is pause. Bring your share window to the front. Okay, well, how do I bring my share window to the front? Now is it sharing? I think so. Oh, Lord, sent from above. Anyway, I hope it's sharing, because if not, I'm about to waste a lot of time recording this. Anyway, as I stated before, Barashit in the Babylonian letters are on the top, and then the bottom is the Paleo. And this, let me get a better writing implement before I erase things. Come on. All right. You know what? Let me grab. Yeah, I'll get this. Okay. So this right now, probably not. Okay. So this right here is a bait. But if maybe if I do this, you can see it's like a tent. And you know they lived in tents. Puddles. Stop scratching the couch. Sorry. This is life, okay? I'm not editing any of this stuff. So anyway, it looks like a tent. And then over time, it went like this, and then boop. So now we got a B, right? Okay. Yay. We did it. Yeah, we did it. Anyway. Get this out the way for you guys. Okay, so then this is the resh. See how it's like that, and it kind of follows the contour of the profile of a person. That is the R. Well, there you can see how it over time turned and flipped and became our version of an R. And then this, if you flip it upside down, same thing. Don't ask me how that became an S and then this became a Y or an I or an E sound, and then, well, plus sign, a T. But not only, I told you, so this is Beit Resh Aleph, Shin Yod Tav. That's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's B, R, A, S, but a sh. So imagine if we had an alphabet that already had the sh sound. That's what they have. And then this is a yod, so y, and then t. So Y and T in the Babylonian one. But they also have meaning to it. So if you was just to see this character on itself, you know that that's a house. Like it means house. That's what the word beit means. It means house. And then the word for head, it was rosh, but it was resh, which meant head. And so that's what I mean about it having semims. Well, if, and not to get too far away from what I'm trying to say, I don't want to erase my characters. So not to get too far away. So I just gave you a brief breakdown. If you want to learn more about Hebrew and the alphabets and the system and all that, there are plenty of videos on the UBTubi for you to look up. But I'm just going to go through, I'll get the ballpoint pen. So if I get a bait and an aleph, bait being the house, right? And then aleph, it could denote strength, or and the reason why it looks like an ox head, I'm sorry for not mentioning that before, but the reason why it's an ox head is because number one, what is the word for ox? Pretty sure it starts with an aleph, and that's why they made it just like the bait. The word for bait starts with a B, so they named that letter bait after the house. And then resh for head, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm willing to bet next week's paycheck that the aleph, the ox in Hebrew begins with an aleph. So it denotes strength. And so the strength of, and I can't spell. I really don't want to write. Okay. I think I got it, because hooked on phonics didn't work for me at all. Like, I'm pretty sure I misspelled it, but we'll be all right. You know what I'm trying to say. So the strength of the house is the father. And in Hebrew, father is ba or abba or baba. But in Spanish, baba means spit. So I don't know what you want to do with that information. Moving right along. The next, so he's the head of the house. So, but if you want to add, nah, I'm gonna get too ahead of myself. We'll keep it right there. If you want to, the next person in line when the father's not there, like you ever seen those movies, or maybe you've said it when like the father is about to leave, you turn to your kid, he's still a kid, but he's your first kid, and you're like, hey, you're the man of the house while I'm gone, right? So that's same concept when the father's not there, or if the father passes away and the firstborn son, he's next in line. So the bait and the resh is bar. So I don't know if you guys, if you've read the book of Matthew or the Gospel of Matthew, and there's somewhere, and he's asking you like, who do men say that I am? And then one of them says, oh, they say you're the prophet. Oh, you're Elijah, come back, blah, blah, blah. And then Peter was like, dude, you kidding me? You're the son of God. Hello. He was like, oh, what is Simon Bar Jonah? So he just said Simon Bar, his son, and then Jonah. It's probably his father's name, which I don't really think that's his father's name. I don't even know why he said that, but I'm just using that as an example for you to know what bar means. So it means son, like bar mitzvah. That's like a son that's being mikvah'd into the law. Moving right along. So yeah, okay, so this right here, these two letters together make its own word and means son or bar. And then let me get my eraser because you guys don't need to know this. I'm gonna just rewind it. Sorry if I'm not getting to the point fast enough. I'm not, I would like to make more videos, and I'm pretty sure over time, if you guys stick with me, I'll get better at it. But as of right now, that's what you see is what you get. So the Aleph means strength, but it also can mean God, Elohim. And strangely enough, in Hebrew, plural is not like the rest of the world, 2 or more. It's 3 or more. So when people is like, the Bible don't have nothing about no Trinity. Well, I don't know what to tell you, because Elohim means there's more than 2 gods within that Godhead. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Figure out your life. Well, you can tell them that. I'm not telling you to figure out your life. I love you. So this is the A, but the A is, well, anyway. Let me just put son. I'm sorry, guys. And got puddles. If you don't stop tearing up the couch, you don't pay no rent. All you do is eat and poop in your box all the time. Anyway. And this, okay, so we're all in agreement. I already told you that this ox head looking thing is strength, and it can also mean God, because God is like, there's nothing stronger than him. Following? All right, so this, see, like this right here, my teethies, my crooked yellow gaggly teeth, whatever. When I eat stuff like chips, or they're gonna end up calling the cops on me for animal cruelty. You know that? However, I wouldn't do that. I'm not editing this, by the way. This is me, you getting me raw. Anyway, so the teeth, if I was to eat something, you know, when I'm chewing it, it destroys it. So this, the sheen, denotes destruction or destroyed. If I can spell it, destroy. And then the yod just means like his hands, as you can see, like it literally looks like that in the Paleo Hebrew, more handy like, and then like color this in, right? Like picture the Egyptian hieroglyphic thing, like that, you know? Hand, not open like this, like that, right? So this means hand. And then this, if you've already guessed it, it's a T. But the word Barashit in itself already has the first dag-on prophecy, and it says it, the Son of God, the Son of God destroys himself by his own hand on the cross. Like, you can't tell me that a bunch of rabbis, now this is not me saying it, I ripped this off of Chuck Missler, a bunch of rabbis in the beginning of time, Moses' time, right, got together and contrived a Christian outlook or whatever, like this is pretty much the gospel, and they hid it within. I can't even anymore with people that don't want to believe that God is real. No, Paul tells us in the very first chapter of Romans, y'all know there's a God. You just don't want to believe it because you want to continue in your sin, drinking all the time. Hey, I'm not saying drinking is bad. I have a couple drinks here and there now and again. I won't go overboard more than 1 or 2 drinks personally, because I don't know which number of those drinks, because once you're already like stumbled over drunk, the Holy Spirit cannot dwell in you. I don't know if that's drink number 2, drink number 4, or drink number 20. But look, once you start getting giggly and loose, I think that's it. He's like, well, I think it's time for me to go. He throws his newspaper up on here and goes back up there. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, the reason why people don't want to believe is because if they believe, then they have to be accountable to themselves. And you can't drink anymore and go out partying like you used to. You can't listen to music, those certain types of music like you wanted to, or used to like to, or still want to, or the movies and grown-up movies that you watch on the internet that have people laying down naked, putting things in holes that they're not supposed to. You want to keep watching that filth. That's why you don't want to believe that God is real, but you know he is. That's why when you look, y'all Christians, you know what I'm talking about. When you ask a non-believer, where do you think you're going to go when you die? And they say, I don't know. They know where they're going, but they just don't want to admit it, because once they admit where they're going, they have a choice. Do I fix it, or do I continue going down the path I'm going to? And I'll use this example. I used to be overweight, like super duper overweight. And I don't think that I have the picture saved here. And for me to even go looking for it on my Facebook is going to be a hassle. But just believe me when I tell you, okay, I'm 5'2". I used to be 5'3", but I lost an inch. I'll explain that some other time. And at my biggest, I got to almost 170 pounds, if you can believe it. I had like a bull nose, my face was round, my knees was hurting all the time, and my shoulders, this shoulder in particular, was always hurting. But I didn't like the way I looked, but it was harder for me in my mind to lose the weight than it is to keep stuffing my face with whatever I wanted. Now, I wasn't the type of person that enjoyed eating fast food and greasy foods and this. I ate clean, but my problem was I loved fatty cakes, okay? Cupcakes, pancakes, hot cakes. If the word cake was next to it, I was going, it didn't matter if it was cow patty cakes. Ew, I'm not gonna eat that, but you know what I mean. I'm just being sarcastic. It's I guess what I'm trying to say is, when someone is extremely overweight, and if that's you, hey, I was there too, okay? When you're extremely overweight, sometimes you get into this fork in the road where I either now have to undo what I've done, because now I'm looking at health reasons as to why I need to stop. Like I might die at like 40 years old. Thank God I'm gonna be 40 next year. I made it. Anyway, or do I continue down this path and die at 40? And sometimes it's just easier for you to forget, okay, well, I'll start again tomorrow, but today I can eat what I want. Because I already messed up on breakfast. I might as well, I don't even think we're going to get to, I don't know where this shifting to, but I just need to get this out, okay? So instead of, okay, so tomorrow I'll start eating clean. But then tomorrow you wake up and I don't know if we forget, or you just like, oh, okay. I'm going to have the breakfast that I want. And then lunch and dinner, I'll figure out my life. But when you're used to eating, like, it's an addiction. I'm not saying that I was addicted to food. I don't understand what was going on with me. It was crazy. I could not get the weight off to save my life, but I knew that I had to stop doing that. So, and then one day, I was sleeping, and I was in the in-between part. I call it the in-between. Like in Stranger Things, they call it in the upside down. Well, before Stranger Things, I always called the time that you're like dead asleep and you're starting to wake up, that in between, I call it the in between. So I was in the in-between and I heard his voice plain as day, because it's the same voice that I heard before. And when